Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for September 17th to the 23rd of 2023. So our quote for the week says, "Still the mind to awaken new insights, still the body to assimilate new nourishment." Deep breath. We have been through and are going through various retrogrades, and as they come out, we need to process and integrate what has changed. And I love this picture with earth and sky because that would be our mind and body. All right, y'all, this week, Cracking the Ancestral Code kicks off. I would have to ask my team if they're going to extend the registration, maybe a week or two. Sometimes we do that. So if you're running late, let us know. But we would love you to join us. And level 1 is open to the public and everyone. Anyone that wants to learn ancestral reverence and basic practices for honoring your ancestors, learning to know who they are and how they commune with you and to access them as a resource. This is a really important thing that not a lot of people teach. And Yeye Louisa Tish is a world-renowned elder, priestess, author, teacher, guide for all of this, that I waited over 40 years to find someone I could trust for this information and for this training. And I really do trust her implicitly. So join us there if you're feeling called to some ancestor work. It always kicks off in the fall for us. The level 2 registration link is here for you all that are on my eLIST that took level 1 last year, or you might have even taken level 1 in 2021. If you're ready for level 2, come on. It all starts this weekend. And Nasa Bawa and Lana Moon of energyandarts.com created the perfect ritual kit to elevate your spiritual journey with all these goodies, so you will be completely supported on all sides, inside, outside, upside down. I love it. We're about to get this party started. That's the way I look at it. This is really my social season when I'm just constantly entertaining the ancestors and the Egun. We talk about the last year, the year that is passing away, and we get some insights on what's to come in the new year. This is what we do when we consult our team of invisible support. So, 'tis the season. Meantime, our week kicks off on Sunday with Venus squaring Jupiter for the third and final time. So this was part of her retrograde process through Leo, squaring off with Jupiter in Taurus. That's your authentic self and self-expression and creativity across from your consciousness around what's logistically possible and what's healthy for you and what's sustainable. Okay, so we've had to adjust our vision a little bit with Jupiter in Taurus and get back in our bodies and get a little more practical about our essential needs. And as Venus rewired things in the relationships and finances department, we're going to have to make some choices and changes now going forward. Meantime, the rewire is between the two benefactors, which is almost always a happy-go-lucky kind of energy that doesn't really want to be bothered with the mundane. However, you shouldn't let the passing energy get you off track, or so off track that it costs you more than it's worth down the road. So like I said, she kind of leaned here. Meaning, how much work have you been getting done? Have you been easily distracted? Have you caught yourself where you didn't feel like working? Because when these two get together, nobody feels like working. It's challenging. At the same time, we know we're calling in this new story that's based on new values and priorities because of her retrograde. So we want to do this one consciously. So it says now going forward, if you don't have any pressing obligations, then it can be a fun, relaxing time, possibly with friends or socializing. So if you have been holding back, now that she's forward, you might be able to schedule a few social events that are easing. We say loose yourself into the wild gradually, honey. Don't just jump out there. It takes a little time, what we call the post-shadow period. There's a period of pre-shadow before a planet retrogrades. There's the actual retrograde. And then there's the post-shadow, which is what it takes all the way back to where the whole thing started. And that's when you come out. We're not out of that yet for Venus retrograde. We will be around the first week of October, if you're curious. However, if you have work to do, make sure that it gets done first so you can truly enjoy yourself without the worry of the pile being bigger when you return. Watch the excesses as well, food, drink, and or spending. On a deeper level, you may have to make some adjustments in your relationships or finances. So how much adjusting have we done since she rearranged things for us personally? Jupiter always reveals how we make things bigger, consciously or not. And this activation usually helps us be more realistic so that we can align our true priorities with our grand vision of the future. So again, the realignment, break the realign in the values and priorities department so that we can be more authentic, so that we can share ourselves and our hearts more freely without being violated, and we can tell this new story of beauty and security and stability and all that good juju that Jupiter gives us in Taurus once in 12 years, y'all, because it's about to wrap up and move to Gemini. And that's a whole nother expression of energy and lessons to learn from Jupiter, okay? So let's get in our bodies, let's get grounded, let's get organized so that when that Gemini energy kicks and Jupiter expands our options and opportunities in ways that it hasn't done since 2012, which, by the way, during that year, Venus was also retrograde in Gemini. There was a huge evolution in the social collective realms around our consciousness and thinking that happens when anything happens in Gemini or Sag. There's an uptick in the social collective consciousness. So what are we preparing for in terms of the expansion of our minds? Deep breath. You want to be grounded in your body for that. That was Sunday. Now, Tuesday the 19th, Sun opposes Neptune. So we're talking the late Virgo Pisces energy here. This is body and spirit, internal, external, your intuition, and then the practical steps you take to follow its guidance. Deep breath. Where Venus opposed Neptune is about your relationships and finances. This Sun activation is more about you, the individual. And any opposition requires that we find the balance in the middle. This can be a very confusing energy. You may be very sensitive to others and their needs, as well as how they relate to you and your own needs. You may want to withdraw or not voice your opinion just to avoid conflict, feeling like it wouldn't solve anything anyway. However, very often, if and when you do not disagree openly, then people assume you agree, which creates more problems. So you shouldn't give in to any temptation of being slick either. That will only attract more of the same to you. If you're feeling unsure of yourself or your position, you may think it's easier to give in to another person's demands when you really should stand up for yourself. Self-preservation is not selfish, it is necessary. It is essential. So try to avoid playing the victim. Be honest and upfront with anyone demanding a confrontation at this time that you would rather gather your thoughts and discuss things later. By then, this energy will have passed, and you will be able to articulate your side of things better. Be aware of deception, both on your part and or the part of others trying to deceive you. Your discernment is not its strongest under this influence, so it is best to be still and quiet until the energy passes. Take this time to do some spiritual inner work. See how that works? Basically, Sun is lighting up where our illusions and delusions are, and we can't really fake it anymore. We can't be in denial anymore, and we can't delay our good anymore either. We shouldn't want to. That was Tuesday, so Thursday, the 21st, has Sun trining Pluto. So here's my theory. If we can integrate a new vision, let go of some illusions and delusions, then this ease and grace for purification and transformation will be quite useful. This energy makes you want to get things done by any means necessary, and you may tend to come on a little strong, but it's all good. The work you want to do is the work that needs to be done, and in doing it and facing things head on, you will gain insights about yourself that fortify your foundation so that your life can evolve to the next level organically. This intense and powerful energy is transformative in nature and will provoke you to think deeply about your own life, what you need, desire, and deserve. You may find that some aspects of your life need to be reformed or released. Go for it. This energy makes reform and release easier than usual. It's a good time to make an impression or an impact on others, but be sure to keep it on the highest level possible. Any actions or statements used to manipulate others for selfish gain can and will backfire on you in a big way. This is a positive, uplifting, transformative energy. Use it as such to clear the debris and create the life you were born to live. Ashe. So again, Sun is just lighting up where the change is happening, and the trine is giving us ease and grace. It's like we know certain things are done. So it's going to be easy to clear it out and let it go. Which brings us to Friday, the turn of the wheel, fall equinox, the one of 2 times per year that we have access to true physical, literal balance. So we always want to tap in. But it is harvest time, where we do our integration and stabilization of life. When we gather and harvest, we're assessing what we produced and accomplished in the last 6 to 9 months. As we evaluate and rectify, we're assessing what worked and what did not work in the last 6 to 9 months. As we balance and integrate, we assess what we need to do, have, or be more or less of going forward. Balance and integrate. And finally, pause for the cause is transition times are the times to be still, tune in, and prepare for the new season. Now, those are our bullets. Rhythm is a beautiful thing. Taking time at the turn of each season notifies the universe that you are ready, willing, and able to co-create with Mother Earth and Father Sky. Fall equinox is the time of year to bring all your projects to a close. Finish whatever you can and start looking toward new projects. Balance and integrate what is working and release the rest. If you willingly and lovingly release that which is not working, the next season will go a lot smoother when you go to truly close the year in preparation for a new solar year. Harvest is about assessing and gathering all that you've created for the year and ultimately reaping the rewards of all your hard work and labor. Some of your harvest will be tangible, creative projects that can and will bear fruit now that they are complete, stable, or in place. And some of your harvest will be intangible, in that you have further cultivated your own being over the last year, and now you and others can benefit from your personal integration, your individual gifts and evolved consciousness. Ashe. Align with your higher self and expand your goals for the coming season. Think bigger. Fall equinox is a time of balance between light and shadow, and takes us from movement out in the world to more inner work with what you've got type of energy, using your resources and creations to build on and expand, primarily behind the scenes in preparation for spring initiation 6 months from now. Libra is the sign of the season and is ruled by Venus, which reminds us that all life is inextricably connected. Any imbalances affect all life eventually. As living conscious beings, we strive for balance in all that we think, feel, say, and do. You can access your inner Libra and recenter so that you are more effective in your beingness and more useful to life in general. Deep breath. This is what fall equinox is good for. We're going to go narrow and deep at the fire ceremony that I will be hosting on Zoom live from my backyard, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is a free community event open to everyone, but there is a suggested donation of $22, and we deeply appreciate those who support the work. It allows us to continue doing these free events for others so that they can learn. The seasonal fire ceremony usually is the energetic support for the next 6 weeks. So those of you who track, we're going to want to know ahead of time before my forecast post, because I only post weekly. I don't do a lot of stuff far in advance, but we will discuss the next 6 weeks, and we'll do some divinations for the group. And then anyone who's hanging out at the end of that, we pull cards for individuals. So if you hang till the end, you get a card pulled. Outside, I'm praying for good weather. That is the only thing that can drive me inside is some rain or hail like the last season. So I should get lucky this season. And we are doing it an hour earlier. I had been doing it for the summer at 9 p.m. Eastern, but now we're going to do 8 p.m. because, of course, sunset is getting earlier and earlier, and we love to do the fire at sunset. So join us there. It's always fun. We usually go a good 90 minutes or 2 hours if we're really rolling, and everybody's engaged and we're still kicking. Also in this blog this week, I've put the Asteroids Replay, the Sacred Feminine, where I went over Ceres, the Sacred Mother, Vesta, the Sacred Individual, Juno, the Sacred Wife, and Pallas is our Sacred Feminine Wisdom. And it also was a very lively conversation, and I'm very grateful for those who contributed along the way and shared their insights. So thank you to my circle who always shows up. The core group is so wonderful, my trackers. But these ladies are good to know, y'all. They kind of do fill in some blanks. So check that out when you get a chance. It's only 58 minutes, which is just short of an hour, which is actually good for Kelly. You know how we roll. And Spider Medicine is still our medicine for September. So if you want to get the tools and the replay, oh my God, that was a really good call where we did run over, and it's like 90 minutes, I think. But that's how good it was. We kept going. And the tools are great for this month to support the harvest, to support what you're going through, to assess the year that is closing out and prepare for the year that's about to initiate. Next month is going to be Raven for October, so we'll go deeper there too. That is only $25 for those tools and goodies. Also, the 555 ritual box that my girls put together. There's a subscription for my hardcore ritual and ceremony people that will get you a kit every month, which is amazing if you're working mojo like that. All these classes, we're always doing something. NASA does a ritual a month. Me and Yeye do rituals. We do the money pouring ritual. So there's always something. So check that out when you get a chance. And this is the end of September when NASA's kicking off her Indigenous Spirituality schools. If you're wanting to go deeper with some of your learning, check out those details. And I have been getting really good feedback for my goddess videos, so I'm going to leave them in for one more week. And when we move to Libra time, I'll take them out because they were created for Leo, Virgo, even though they're kind of good anytime. And I hope that you'll go back for inspiration, and I will try to carve out some time to make some new ones. God knows there's thousands of goddesses, so I could do that forever. And it was really fun, but you know that's a rabbit hole, honey. When you go down the rabbit hole of pictures trying to pick just the right one, it is a fun visual journey when I put those together. So hopefully we'll have a few more in the near future. All right, y'all, that is this week, which is a big week, ending with equinox, kicking off with a final Venus retrograde work. Like I said, she's going to come out of this zone around the first or second week of October. I think it's October 8th to be official. And then we always look at what they do after. So that means while she goes through Virgo and spends 3 or 4 weeks there, we're going to be assimilating everything that changed around our values and priorities, around our relationships and finances over the last 4 months specifically while she was backwards. But also that whole 4 months is going to anchor the next 14 months, basically. It's an 18-month cycle, and it's all connected. So if you want to go deeper with Venus, you know I've got that reading and custom guide that'll cover you for the whole 18-month cycle, and you can drop into the circle monthly as you feel called. I should remind you here that next month when we get to the root chakra and we start kicking off the chakras in the Venus circle, that Cinnamon Rose is going to sit in with us and bring an extra piece for our love life and our sex life and our intimacy aspects of life. That we're going to do 9 months of release and clearing around that department, and then 9 months of reclamation on the back end. So that's going to get pretty deep and juicy for those of you who want to work on that aspect of your love life. Come on and join us. We're going deep this time. And if you're not focused on relationships that closely, then the Astro Tarot reading is really the bomb because that's your birth chart and your cycles. My specialty is cycles and patterns. So we check in with your timeline with Jupiter, Saturn, and North Node, and you get a bunch of good extra information there. And the tarot reading is usually spot on and is good for asking a here and now question, guidance for now. So if you're feeling like you want some personal support and guidance, then definitely reach out for that Astro Tarot reading. That's the best one. And even if you've gotten them before, that would be the one you would buy if you want to do a follow-up. And then we would check in like with your activations for the new year. 2024 is coming. I do a lot of these at the end of the year. We pull tarot cards for here and now. So it's always a good one, and it's only $150, and it's kind of a 2-for-1. So check that out if you need to, if you feel called. All right, that's it. I hope you have a fantastic week. Join us when and where you can. Reach out when you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.